Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, last night was the Democratic debate before New Hampshire. It's very interesting. And apparently it was basically, from what I'm hearing, a bloodbath. You had Hillary Clinton that was going after Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders that was going after Hillary Clinton. And from what I've been told, is quite interesting. Both of them were throwing punches at each other. Interesting probably isn't the word. Borderline of being boring, because normally Democratic debates are, really super boring. Like, there's not even a word to describe how grueling it is to sit through one of them. So they were like borderline boring. And that's an upgrade from what they regularly are. So anyway, we have the audio bit for you of Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton going at it from last night's debate. This is provided by Politico from MSNBC. Go ahead and play it.
Going through, exemplified by these promises that would raise taxes and make it much more difficult for many, many Americans to get ahead and stay ahead. That is not my agenda.
Did I just hear Hillary Clinton say that she doesn't support a tax increase? Wow, that's amazing. Very fascinating.
Sanders, 30 seconds to respond to that.
What being part of the establishment is in the last quarter having a super PAC that raised $15 million from Wall Street, that throughout one's life raised a whole lot of money from the drug companies and other special interests. To my mind, if we do not get a handle on money in politics and the degree to which big money controls the political process in this country, nobody is going to bring about the changes that is needed in this country for the middle class and working families.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to really ask what's behind that comment. Senator Sanders has said he wants to run a positive campaign. I've tried to keep my disagreements over issues, as it should be. But time and time again, by innuendo, by insinuation, there is this attack that he is putting forth, which really comes down to, anybody who ever took donations or speaking fees from any interest group has to be bought. And I just absolutely reject that, Senator. And I really don't think these kinds of attacks by insinuation are worthy of you. And enough is enough. If you've got something to say it directly, but you will not find that I ever changed a view or a vote because of any donation that I ever received. And I have stood up and I have represented my constituents to the best of my ability, and I'm very proud of that. So I think it's time to end the very artful smear that you and your campaign have been carrying out in recent weeks, and let's talk about the issues. Let's talk about the issues that divide us.
Okay, let's talk
we
about
both
issues.
agree with campaign finance reform.
Let's talk about issues.
I worked hard for McCain-Feingold. I want to reverse Citizens United.
Let's talk about issues.
Let's talk about issues.
Let's talk about issues. All right, let's talk about why in the 1990s Wall Street got deregulated. Did it have anything to do with the fact that Wall Street spent billions of dollars on lobbying and campaign contributions? Well, some people might think, yeah, that had some influence. Let's ask why it is that we pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, and your medicine can be double tomorrow.
So that was what happened in the debate last night. So basically, had Bernie Sanders wanting to give free stuff, wanting to regulate prescription drug companies and all that. So that's what's going on there. And guys, I'm going to tell you exactly what is taking place here in the Democratic Party, and it's exactly what's taking place in the Republican Party. Democrats, for years, have been very, very lenient when it comes to socialism. They have pandered to socialists almost. And while they are not socialists themselves in many cases, I mean, Democrats do hold several socialist views, but while they do not identify as socialists themselves, and they're not in full alignment with the values of socialism, because they have pandered to socialists so much, and because they just have not really been full-fledged gung-ho for socialism, socialists have gotten tired of that. Around 40% of the Democratic Party is made up of socialists, according to some polls. So what does that mean? That means that's a huge chunk of the Democratic electorate that considers themselves socialists. So what we're seeing with Bernie Sanders right now is a guy who is giving those socialists a voice in the Democratic Party. And now the socialists, because they've been pandered to for so long by the Democratic Party, those socialists have gotten enough of the establishment Democrats, and they are clinging to a guy that's saying, you know what, enough with this talk, I'm going to just go full-fledged for socialism. We're going to go all gun-ho for socialism. We're going to get this country to become socialist, just like any other country in Europe. And the Democrats love that, the Democratic voters anyway, because we're seeing the same exact thing with the Republican Party. Like the Democrats have been pandering to socialists. The Republican Party has been pandering to conservatives. That's why you see every election year where you have the GOP, all of a sudden, they go from compromising most of their values, like calling for a pathway to citizenship, calling for amnesty, to saying, yeah, I'm a conservative, we need to secure the border. Oh, amnesty, we're not talking about that right now. But anyway, we need to secure the border, I'm a conservative, vote for me. They're all conservatives every time election season rolls around. They pander to conservatives. And in many cases, conservatives fall for it, and they go in support of the establishment candidate. That's why you're seeing Donald Trump surge to the top. Donald Trump represents the angry conservatives as Bernie Sanders represents the angry socialists in the Democratic Party. That's what we're seeing take place here. So really, it's just a complete overthrow of the establishment from both parties. People have had enough. And, you know, guys, to expand on that a little bit further, these politicians do not care about anything other than power. That's all that they care about. The Democratic Party feels that way. The Republican Party feels that way. And people are tired of that. They see through that. They want someone in there who is going to fight for them. That's why you're seeing Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump both doing so well, because while they're on exact opposites of the spectrum, you have Donald Trump, the poster child for capitalism, and you have Bernie Sanders, the poster child for democratic socialism. They represent two ideologies, two conflicting ideologies. However, it represents a major base of the parties. So that's what is taking place here. People have had enough with these politicians that only care about power and do not care about their constituents. Now, Bernie Sanders supporters are socialists. That's what they are. They are socialists. Socialism has been proven to fail. Take a look at what has happened over in Europe. I mean, guys, if we enact socialism into this country, you're going, let's say we decide to just completely go even further with Obamacare and fully implement what they have over in, say, the United Kingdom, where you have this panel of people that are chosen by the government. I guess they're somehow experts regarding the medical industry. But anyway, you have this panel that is basically a death panel that decides how much treatment you can and cannot receive, what it will and will not cover. And if we completely go there, you're going to have that socialism. It's where every person who signs up to get medical treatment is equally judged by the government according to various standards. And if someone is younger, even though if you're let's say that you're an older person and you're not doing too well, you're going to be put to the end of the line because you've already lived your life, so we're going to give someone who's younger the chance to live theirs. So you're done for. Who cares if you were in line first? Get back in the end. This other person who's younger needs treatment more than you do. So in other words, when you hit a certain age, you are sent to the back of the line. And in really in several cases over in countries like this, you see people who never make it to the front of the line. It takes them forever to make it to the front if they do get that chance. That is, if they don't die first. But, that's what we're seeing take place here with that is socialism at its finest. That's what Bernie Sanders supports. He supports the distribution of wealth equally. The problem with socialism is that with all these free programs that he's wanting to implement, you eventually run out of money because the government keeps wanting to tax people more and more and more and more and more and more. And that's how the government takes all the money and people become absolute broke. They become absolutely broke. And that's what Bernie Sanders will do if he becomes president and gets his way with Congress. And that's why it's important that we reject socialism. And people have said, they've said this stuff to me time and time again. It's the biggest load of hogwash I've ever heard. Jesus Christ was a socialist. I can't tell you how many people have uttered those words to me. Jesus Christ is a socialist. Jesus Christ is not a socialist. Yes, he said, give to Caesar's what is Caesar's, give to God what is God. Yeah, we are to pay our taxes. But the thing is that Jesus said that we are to give to others at our own free will. If we want to pay for someone's entire trip to college, all their tuition, guess what? That should be done out of the goodness of our heart. It means something then. If you're going to mandate it, it doesn't mean anything. And on top of that, if we make college free, kids take advantage of high school the way that it is. You make college free, guess what? You're going to have a bunch of lowlives attending college that are going to be taking college for granted, and we're wasting money once again, throwing it into the educational system, filling the classrooms with kids that really don't want to be there and don't care. I mean, guys, that's exactly what you're going to see happen. You're going to see a bunch of money that is wasted. Personally, I would preferably like to pay for my own college, not pay for mine and everyone else's for the rest of my life. Yes, it might feel like you're going to be paying off your college tuition for the rest of your life. I understand that, college students. I'm about there myself because I'm about getting ready to enter. I'm just as thrilled about that part as you are. But I look at it this way. I would rather be responsible for my own debt than be responsible for paying off parts of mine and parts of everyone else's for the rest of my life. I don't want I don't want to literally have, I'll put it this way, I don't want to literally have a lifelong debt to college, okay? I eventually want to pay it off. Bernie Sanders' plan basically means that you are going to be trying to pay off your college debt for the rest of your life. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. So don't think that you're getting free college. That is a lie to you that the socialists enjoy spreading to take control. It's been tried multiple times. Not in the United States. It's just now slowly being injected to the United States. The Democratic Party has been using the boiling frog tactic, where rather than throwing the frog into the boiling pot of water, you put the frog in lukewarm water and then you slowly crank it up until the frog's boiling and dead. That's exactly what we're seeing happen with socialism in this country. They've been slowly injecting more and more socialism until the country eventually goes all full-fledged gun-ho, calling themselves socialists. That's what some of the Democrats want. Hillary Clinton, I think, wants the power more than she wants socialism enacted. But it's really quite intriguing to see the direction that this nation is going. And unless we get a grip on it and people start coming to their senses, we are in trouble. Now, I don't think that Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton is going to get the presidency. At least I hope not. Both of them couldn't handle it. Hillary Clinton obviously isn't responsible enough to take care of a few soldiers over in Benghazi. She's definitely not responsible enough to take care of an entire army as the commander-in-chief. I mean, guys, it's so absolutely pathetic that the Democrats have to offer. Martin O'Malley was the best one. He dropped out.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So here we go. Oh, this is horrible. From YoungCons.com. I don't know why they chose Young Cons or Young Conservatives, but that's their website. Young Cons. It makes them sound like they're a con artist. I don't like that. YoungCons.com. One of the many, many problems with green energy, besides being incredibly inefficient, is the fact that it is very expensive. And while the Obama administration likes to run around talking about how we need to get rid of fossil fuels, he never really talks about how they are going to pay for it. This is from Andrew Mark Miller. What this article discusses here, I read you the first paragraph. What this article is discussing is how President Obama is planning to increase tax oil in order to pay for green energy wish list. President Obama is planning to tax oil in order to pay for green energy wish list. This is from CNBC Now. CNBC, breaking. White House says it will propose a $10 a barrel fee on oil paid by oil companies. That's ridiculous. To cover costs of green transportation proposals. So they're planning on taxing oil. Now, guys, here's the thing. This is the fancy language that we're seeing take place regarding the White House now. They're saying, oh, yeah, well, we're only going to tax the oil companies. As a matter of fact, we have an incident that's going on in my town here locally of where something similar is happening, where they're saying that the customers are not going to be affected by a tax increase. But anyway, that's beside the point of what we're talking about here. But I mean, guys, what the White House is saying, basically, in so many words, is that, oh yeah, we're just going to tax the oil companies. It's not going to affect you. Guess what? The oil companies are going to tax that onto us. We're going to be paying for it at the pump. And the White House knows it. So get ready. Taxing oil now. That's the White House's proposal. Wonder if Republicans will go for that one, or will it be another executive order? That's probably what I would suspect. But guys, I tell you, the Obama administration is basically trying to destroy the oil industry, the coal industry, to advance their Go Green agenda. Even though, in many cases it's been proven to be unsustainable. We're being told now that it's a sacrifice that we should be willing to take because protecting the earth, protecting the planet is worth it. That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Guys, this planet has made it through so much. It made it through being pelted with meteors. Okay? When the dinosaurs were coming in, okay? You had the dinosaurs that were walking on the earth. Boom! Big rocks fell from sky. Blew up Earth. At least that's what they tell us. So that happens. And then after that, we have the, what do you call it? Oh, yeah, Dust Bowl. That was another thing that happened. Ice Age. Oh, that was that was a small thing, wasn't it? So I'm pretty sure that after over 2,000 years, that the earth is able to take care of itself. And that's just New Testament, by the way. You had all the Old Testament in there. Yeah, you got a long time. I'm pretty sure the earth is fine. All right. I mean, I didn't like that guy. What's his name? George Carlin. Guy that was a vulgar comedian. I didn't like him. I liked the baseball thing. They used to play that when I played ball there in Little League. But one thing that he did say that was true, even though the guy had the mouth of a sailor. One thing George Carlin did say is that, why do we need to save the whales, save the snails, save all the stuff on the earth when the earth has been proven to take care of itself for what scientists say millions and millions of years? Whether you want to believe that or not, I'm leaving that to you. My personal opinion, you guys know what my personal opinion is on it, because I've explained my theory regarding the Tower of Babel and how God separated the continents. But anyway, we have another thing here. Cruz is using Carter's words in an anti-Trump attack ad. Jimmy Carter decided to choose Donald Trump over Ted Cruz. This is a new article that's being put out there, and here's Jimmy Carter in his own words.
If I had a choice between Cruz and Trump, I think I would choose Trump. The reason is that Trump has proven already that he's completely malleable. I don't think he has any fixed opinions that he would really go to the White House and fight for. On the other hand, Ted Cruz is not malleable. He has far right-wing policies, in my opinion, that would be pursued aggressively if and when he might become president.
So that was Jimmy Carter on Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. So basically he said Donald Trump doesn't know what he'd fight for, doesn't know what he believes, doesn't know what he would do. Ted Cruz does. So that's why you should support Trump over Ted Cruz. That's not an endorsement, Ted. Stop saying it's an endorsement. It's not an endorsement. He was mocking both of you. Okay? He was basically calling Donald Trump an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything. That was Jimmy Carter. So stop saying that was somehow an endorsement of Donald Trump. It was not, and you know it. Oh my gosh. I despise primaries with a passion. I have a friend of mine that is going crazy over me because of something that I said about Donald Trump. I said I thought Donald Trump was searching for the Lord and he wasn't right where he needed to be with God. You know, because he owns strip clubs and casinos and all that stuff. I said I thought he was searching for God, but I didn't think he was right with God. Well, apparently I didn't sit well with him. He got mad at me over that. But, you know, that's hopefully I released an article earlier today about that. It's on CowgerNation.com. It's titled, "Is Donald Trump a Christian?" And you guys can go and read that for yourself and let me know what you think about it. But in the article, I just stressed that we have to be careful. We can't condemn Donald Trump. I think that Donald Trump is a new Christian. He's slowly, or newly becoming a Christian, I should say. I think that he's slowly seeking God. Rather, he's saved now presently. The Bible says that you'll know them by their fruits, and considering that Donald Trump I'll put it this way, Donald Trump has a lot of work to do still, okay? But I do think he's in the right direction because he's been hanging out with a lot of evangelical ministers. You have the Robert Jeffers, Dr. Robert Jeffers, something like that. And you have Governor Mike Huckabee that he's been talking to. Both of them were ministers, or one of them was a minister, Huckabee, and then you have Jeffers that is a present minister. Both of them are really good. So, I mean, maybe they can lead Trump in the right direction. I ask, and I'm going to just ask all of you, keep Donald Trump in your prayers, and pray and ask God to please direct Trump and lead him in the right direction, because I think that Trump needs all the help that he can get. And when I've, based upon a lot of my observations, I've said this on the program before, I think that Trump is seeking God. He hasn't gotten to that point yet, but I think he's seeking God, and he's curious about it. And that's why he's hanging around with a lot of evangelical ministers. He's curious about what do they have that I do not have, and hopefully Trump will find that. That's just my personal opinion based upon my observations. Not saying that, because I don't believe in, you're better than someone. I don't believe in having that mindset. I think that's stupid. Where you start placing yourselves, I'm better than you. I don't like that. That ticks me off when people have done that to me. I don't believe in doing that to other people. But anyway, moving on here. We have Florida. The Florida governor has declared, what is it called? Zika? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. Zika. It's some type of disease that is being spread by these, looks like mosquitoes. Yeah, in mosquitoes, it's being spread around. Florida has 4 counties that are affected by this. Florida governor declares Zikai, I don't know, state of emergency in 4 counties. So 4 counties are infected with this disease, whatever it is. So yay, more stuff coming into us.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say
Oh,
it.
guys, I told you this was going to happen. Told you it was happening. I reported this a few weeks ago, and actually, I think I reported it last week. What was I going to say? What was I getting ready to say? It was some L word. I think I was about ready to say laxative. Goodness sakes, what is coming out of my mouth? Anyway, okay. Getting back to what we were talking about. A few weeks ago, I reported that Glenn Beck was, his empire was failing, all right? The Blaze is going down the dumps, okay? It's going in the trash. And I was receiving criticism for it, as always, because you guys know that I love being loved by everybody. But anyway, I was reporting Glenn Beck, his empire's going out. A good friend, well, I can't say good friend of mine, a guy I'm acquainted with, Joseph Carey, who used to be the chief of staff for the Glenn Beck program, wrote to me a few years ago after I contacted Beck when I was a big fan of his. He left the Blaze, which is very amazing because this was like Beck's right-hand man for a long time, long time, come to think of it. But he left the Blaze. Two other people left the Blaze. Another guy's left the Blaze. The CEO of the Blaze has left. And you have the Daily Beast that has reported that Glenn Beck's media empire is burning down. And the reason for this, they're saying, is backbiting and paranoia from Breitbart. Well, actually, it's from the Breitbart's just reposting this. I'll go to the Blaze and report it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because one of my friends, Jimmy Z, sent me this. From the Daily Beast. Why Glenn Beck's media empire is burning down. Glenn Beck was thanked by Ted Cruz in his Iowa victory speech. But all his mad genius, the right-wing media, Firebrand's media company, has become filled with backbiting and paranoia. Glenn Beck is beset by apocalyptic visions, sinister conspiracy theories, mind-blowing prophecies, mysterious illnesses, miraculous cures, and yes, copious waterworks. But all of the fluttering through his mind, consistency isn't one of them. Beck regularly contradicts himself in word and deed, a trait that is less charitable, excuse me, I can't read. Oh man, I'm going back to like third grade, goodness sakes. Less charitable associates call hypocrisy. There we go. Got it out. For instance, mere months after announcing with typically messianic zeal that he was heartily sick of politics and leaving the Republican Party, he spent the past 2 weekends barnstorming, there I go again, Iowa with Senator Ted Cruz, the winner of Monday night's GOP caucuses, and trading insults with the also ran Donald Trump, who calls Beck a whack job. Yeah, Donald Trump is right on a lot of things. In his victory speech, Cruz thanked Beck specifically. Oh yeah, way to go, Ted Cruz. Thank Beck specifically. I am so grateful to national leaders. People like Dr. James Dobson, that's good. Tony Perkins, that's good. Phil Robertson, that's good. Governor Rick Perry, that's good. And Glenn Beck, that's bad. Leaders who have stood and led, bringing together conservatives here in Iowa and across the country. Glenn Beck is not a conservative, he's a libertarian. But hey, what's the difference, right? Yeah, right. One believes in smoking weed and killing brain cells, the other does not. Beck celebrated the victory on his Facebook page. It is a great night for the Constitution, America, and Ted Cruz. He didn't put a comma in there, and he didn't capitalize Constitution. Way to go, Beck. We are one stop closer to restoring our principles, and promised not to gloat about Trump falling short. One of those principles is never to revel in another man's defeat. Indulging in a bit of weakness, the radio, television, and internet firebrand has began broadcasting the simulcast of his popular Glenn Beck program this week from a full-scale mock-up of the presidential sanctum, the Oval Office, because, as he explained, since we're going to be since we're going for the most powerful job in the world, the place to cover that election might be from the Oval Office. Colleagues and underlings interviewed by the Daily Beast on condition of anonymity, or remaining anonymous anyway, out of fear of retribution, describe Beck's irresistible personal magnetism and undetainable brilliance that one called mad genius mixed with a colossal streak of narcissism. Well, that's not surprising. Neediness, and above all, basically he's a nut job. Continuing here, wipe salt, and in many cases betrayed. There you go. They feel betrayed by Beck. Welcome to the club. Beck, who turns 52 next week, or maybe they should just pick one of those two numbers and stick with it, 5 or 2. I would go probably with 2. Was not available for an interview. Beck wasn't available for an interview. Attracted to the idealism of the Blaze, Beck's 6-year multimedia venture, which is failing, whose heartwarming motto is, "We tell the stories of love, of courage, where the good guys win." They instead tell stories of a sad, baffling descent from a friendly, positive workplace culture, like a family, says one, into the abyss of backbiting and paranoia as a company of nearly 300 people contracted to around half that size. What happened? Former Blaze employees point to the abrupt departures a year ago of longtime Beck confidants Chris Balf, or Barf, I don't know which it is, and Joel Cheatwood, who are widely credited with making his success possible. Then there was a sudden appearance in the fall of 2014 from Israel via Miami of a slightly built, bald, padded Beck superfan who spouted the slick jargon of Silicon Valley, chain-smoked a vaporous e-cigar or cigarette, holding in his right hand that is missing 2.5 fingers, the result of a childhood accident with a meat grinder, and somehow networked himself into Beck's inner circle. I don't know who they're talking about. Beck apparently became infatuated with Jonathan Screenbrugger, whoever that is. I don't know who this guy is. Who is he? I don't know who that is. Who has been irregularly spotted in Beck's expansive glass-walled office, sometimes entangled, and hung with the boss, and whose Orthodox Judaism apparently meshes well with Beck's religious, or basically he's a Mormon convert. Last April, Schleinberger, or whatever his name is, was named president of Beck's privately held umbrella company, Mercury Radio Arts, of which the Blaze is basically a subdivision, along with a diverse collection of enterprises, including a publishing imprint at Simon & Schuster, a clothing line, a movie studio, and a guide to trustworthy real estate agents. Oh, that's wonderful. Blah, 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 blah. Beck's syndicated morning show in the nation is the third highest rated after Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity's. It's also tied with Mark Levin. They didn't put that in there. And like the Blaze, and by the way, his is like 4th, I think. No, that's not true. Beck's syndicated morning show is the nation's third highest rated show. That's not true, because it's David Ramsey's whose show is the third highest rated. So they got that wrong. His is the 4th highest rated, tied with Mark Levin. So that's false here in the Daily Beast article. I know my stuff when it comes to radio. Let's see here. Employees ultimately gave Schreinberger the nickname Voldemort after the Harry Potter villain. Blah, 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 blah. There's basically been backbiting that has been going on in the Blaze, and all this other stuff that is taking place. So it's really just looking very horrible for them. Beck promptly ordered his private jetliner repainted with the logo 1971 clothing line, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, basically their network is imploding from the inside. Another report here that we have is that people who work at the Blaze don't feel comfortable working there. A lot of them say that they just go in, they do their work, and they immediately get out because there are a whole bunch of backbiters in there that are trying to basically take out other people to rise to the top. So not a good organization.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So, just looking on here, just wanted to make sure, David Ramsey has a listening audience of 8.25 million weekly listeners in third place. Hannity in second with 12 million, or 12.550 million. And then you have Rush Limbaugh at 13.25 million weekly listeners. And you have Glenn Beck and Mark Levin at 7 million weekly listeners. So, they're in fourth place. So that was not accurate information that you're hearing from the Daily Beach. Just wanted to point that out there. So let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, there's been another video that has been released on Planned Parenthood. And apparently an executive sought to hide profits from the baby part sales. New video released by and this is from Breitbart, by the way, by Susan Berry, Dr. Susan Berry, that is. I want to be sure to respect her with that title. A new video released by the Center for Medical Progress, CMP, appears to show how Planned Parenthood uses accounting gimmicks to hide profits created through the sale of body parts of aborted babies. A financial benefit is what staff and management need to see, says an executive at Planned Parenthood facility in Texas. The video highlights footage from the April 9th, 2015 visit of investigative journalist David Dalian, director of the Center for Medical Progress, CMP, and the CMP employee Sandra Merritt to Planned Parenthood's Gulf Coast, PPGC abortion facility in Houston. We had two levels of invoicing them. We had it worded as per consent, explains Planned Parenthood Gulf Coast Director of Research Melissa Farrell in the video. Farrell states per consent is a phrase used in the PPGC budgeting in place of per specimen for fetal tissue, per consent. So I'm going to repeat that again. Farrell states per consent in the phrase used in the PPGC budgeting in place of per specimen for fetal tissue. Farrell discusses that while a woman may consent to supply her aborted baby's tissue, the specimen itself is not suitable or is not usable for experimentation. There's probably some situations where somebody would consent and then just not. Just not. We didn't get a sample. Or she changed her mind, or something happened to the specimen, she says, adding. Now, obviously, we don't want to end up paying for material that we can't use, and suggest that there be a line, item, fee, or something else that represents the specimens. I just don't want it to turn into a situation that is not financially beneficial for you, says Merritt. Blah, 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 blah. So basically more legal activity here. Chairman of the House Select Investigative Panel on Infants' Lives said that the new footage is deeply disturbing. And you can find this out by going to Breitbart.com. They have the article up there. I'm sure it's also on LifeSiteNews.com. We're good friends over there. So it's really just looking bad for Planned Parenthood. Of course, Texas grand jury basically let off Planned Parenthood, and they're trying to go after the Center for Medical Progress employees there. So that's normally how it works. The bad guys end up being let go, set free. The good guys are punished. So they continue going out murdering children, murdering innocent children. And, that's how it goes, I guess, in the United States today. It's a crime to report people for illegally selling aborted baby body parts, harvesting their organs, selling them on the black market. That's a crime. Isn't it sick, the world we live in today, guys? I mean, it really is. I mean, when someone ends up getting a lawsuit brought against them themselves because they're reporting illegal activity of where baby body parts are being sold on the black. That's so sick. It's disgusting. It makes me want to throw up. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you. God bless and God save this nation.